Hey, Glomies. Hey, Caroline. And hey, who's that over there? Who's the third person here?
Hi, guys. I'm sorry. I did show up.
That's awkward.
Do you want me to X out, or what's the plan?
Caroline, what do we do?
I'm sorry, Clay. This is a private Zoom room.
Okay,
No.
I've just been sitting here on the couch for 2 weeks now. My back hurts. Bad.
You guys,
It looks like it hurts.
Ow.
last week when we didn't release an episode, all the comments were like, was Clay not available? Yes, okay, Clay's our comedic crutch. You caught us. We're addicted to him. We're obsessed with him. What do you want from me, okay?
Listen, I appreciate being called a crutch. That sounds right.
Esther and I are Tiny Tim, and Clay's our little child crutch, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I feel like Esther's Scroogey a little bit.
I'm finishing up my post-walk popsicle. I just want to let everyone know it'll be done soon.
So, Esther, what kind of flavor is this popsicle? Do you mind?
I thought
sharing
you'd
on
never
this?
ask. So
Okay.
I like pineapple and tropical. Those are my two flavors. I was in Skokie, as everyone knows, and in Illinois at Whole Foods and at some gas stations, they sell these popsicles called Fruit Fulls, Full, and they're
Okay.
so good. They have like real fruit pieces in them, and I can't find them anywhere in California.
Esther, California is like the capital of paletas. Traditional Mexican real fruit popsicles.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you not
what I was
had
gonna
one?
say.
It's like a
you can get them
huge
from any
industry
truck.
here.
I'm like, you can get them from so
In
many. Like,
7-Eleven, they have like amazing paletas with full of real fruit.
should I take you
7-Eleven?
to? Should I take you to Vallarta?
Anywhere. Yes, a Vallarta, a gas station, anywhere. And I can take you. There's these stores in LA that just sell every flavor you could possibly imagine of real fruit.
me.
Esther, I know that you think
Yes,
it's
I will
limited
take
to
you.
Skokie, limited to
I
their
know.
Whole Foods
That's
and
I
their
had
gas
to jump
station.
in, dude.
Thank
I had
you,
to
Caroline.
jump in to be like, Skokie is the capital of like real fruit popsicles. I'm like,
We let you have bagels,
No.
but like we're actually not gonna let you do that to like the proud like community
Paleta
here.
community.
Yeah.
I
Is it
can't wait
paleta
till
or
you guys-
paelleta?
oh, I will gracefully exit the Zoom.
When I see two L's, and I
Paelleta.
typically think, yeah, it might be, but is that a paella?
I don't know. It might
I don't
be paleta.
know.
I'm not sure.
You guys
Look,
will see one day on the
See
Skokie
what?
trip.
What will I see?
Well, we can see the popsicle. We see it right now. You're eating it in our face.
This is a modern pop. I got it at Bestie's Vegan Paradise, that vegan like grocery store. But whatever.
Love Bestie's Vegan
Modern
Paradise.
pop. I don't know if I like that.
I didn't say I like the name. Okay, and it's
Okay.
not as good as the ones I like. By the way,
By the way,
wait,
Oh,
I
go
don't
on.
even.
I'm looking
wait.
up. I'm looking up the paleta store so I can show Esther what she's missing.
Take me, mother.
I will take you. I would love to take you.
how have your grades been?
If you show me your report
Bad.
card and you got all B's and A's, I will take you to the paleta store.
Were you guys A students? I was a B student.
I was like A's and B's.
Okay, so for me, I got exclusively A plus, A plus, D plus, D plus, A plus, A plus. If I wasn't interested in a class, I did not do well. I would pinch myself so hard in class to stay awake because I could not stop falling asleep in ocean marine bio, for
Right.
example.
But an
That was a class?
But an AP beach waves.
Oh,
were like-
honey, AP beach waves? A
Writing
plus. Wait, actually, I didn't do well in beauty school either. They didn't think I had what it took.
Oh my God, Clay, you have to tell us about beauty school. I want to hear all about that experience. Did you have to get your 500 hours? Like, what's it all like?
500 hours?
I don't
Try
know.
1,100 hours.
Are you
It took-
kidding me?
Oh, it took so long. I had to learn how to do manicures. I'm technically licensed to do acrylic nails and manicures.
Come over.
Can you give
No.
me my toes?
Okay, so do you want to know what my hack was? Because I knew I was so bad at them. And like when I was taking my state board test, like if you got any color on the skin, that was points off. So instead, I would literally just do like a circle on each nail. So I'd be like, well, I'm going to get a point off, but it wouldn't be as many points off as if I got it on the skin.
Uh-huh.
Esther, does this interest you, or is
That's
that the
Esther
popsicle
logic.
face?
You're a licensed nail technician.
Well,
All
no,
I'm hearing
not
is perfect perfect best friend. He can braid your hair
Esther's just
and do
thinking
your nails.
who she can cut off the payroll now that she's learned that.
I know, seriously.
Add another job to Clay's list.
I'm somehow going to be paying her to do her nails. She's going to have some sort of apprentice program. I can feel it.
Paying her in Skokie popsicles that you overnighted.
But wait,
So
someone
expensive.
was saying something about, you guys know Glam Squad, the app where you can have people.
Do I know Glam Squad? I have given
We've used
so
it.
much fucking money to Glam Squad
Okay,
in my life.
you guys know that like
Does it still exist?
Yes, it
it
does.
does.
I got one last week.
Okay, you guys, when it first started like 9 years ago, I auditioned to be in it and they told me I did not have what it took. They said, you talked too much and were very slow. And when you... Go on.
The Glam Squad people I get, they are the talkiest talkersteins. I mean, you have to talk a lot to be in Glam Squad, I thought.
Well, all I know is that like my mom's best friend, who's basically like my grandma or whatever, she hired a Glam Squad and she said the woman brought in a boombox and played very loud music the whole time and her ears were still ringing from it. But I did not have what it took to be Glam Squad. So anyone out there...
I didn't get into my high school improv or my college improv troupe.
Oh,
So
I did.
we're both failures. Oh.
We actually toured Europe with my improv group, but it doesn't matter actually.
It doesn't really matter. Just put a
yeah.
circle in the center of the nail and you'll be fine.
Thank you.
What flavor? Oh, you're drinking a Peach Vibe Celsius, which they always, I feel like it says limited edition, but why has it never gone away?
I just discovered it. It's the best flavor.
flavor.
It's those peach. What are they called? Peach
Peach
circles. Pink. Thank you. Which is
Peachy.
so vulgar. It does sound like a gay porno. But the peach rings. Peach Vibe Celsius is Esther's left. The
Esther's
chat.
gone.
Esther fully walked off.
Stop talking about Skokie for 5 seconds, and
yeah.
Esther's just like, I'm gonna go do
It's
my
7
laundry.
p.m. You're drinking an energy drink?
That is crazy.
Yeah, well, I was in the middle of biking. I'm gonna do this, whatever, with you guys really quick, and then I'm gonna finish biking. Okay, last week, though, we talked about Drew Barrymore, right? And the line and how we need to go.
And there's been a huge update in the world
Huge
of Drew
update.
Barrymore licensing. Since every week there's an update in the Drew Barrymore universe.
I am a full-on Drew head. I am, like, a Drew warrior. I think I'm a Drew warrior. Yeah.
Drew warrior.
I will buy whatever she's selling, but you guys, she is coming out with... Okay, Esther is sneezing. Esther is allergic to Drew Barrymore.
Esther's having a full body physiological reaction to the popsicle.
I love Drew Barrymore. I read her book. I buy her makeup. What? Tell us.
She has a magazine coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Which you guys-
Entourage voice. Oh, yeah.
Bring back Entourage with us. We need to do the Entourage reboot.
All
the three
four
of us.
parts starring Drew Barrymore. All 4 parts
No,
by Drew
us.
Barrymore. Oh, us.
I want us to be the Entourage reboot.
I call Turtle.
Yeah, no, we're all turtle. It's just 3 turtles, the new Entourage reboot.
No, Turtle Tourage.
Okay, you guys.
Tourage.
One thing I will say that's interesting about the Drew Barrymore magazine is, I mean, I'm going to buy it, but magazines aren't doing...
One thing you'll say. Oh my
magazines
God.
aren't... Did you know that Oprah folded? The O Magazine folded?
Are you
No.
sure about that? I don't
It had its last issue in December. It said in the article.
Here's the thing. Esther and I were actually talking about this yesterday, Clay, and do we know, is it a monthly? Is it a quarterly? Like,
Is it
what
even
do
in
we,
print?
What do we know?
Why go magazine route? Why not go the famous Goop Poosh? Just go digital magazine.
Well, because Goop did a hard magazine, and it only lasted 2 issues. Here's what I can tell you about Drew's magazine. It's
Tell
$10.
me.
It is retail $9.95.
That's
and
new
it's
beauty. That's a new beauty price. That's very expensive.
Yeah. But magazines
tell
are
us more.
expensive now. And that I think it's exclusively at Walmart and then
No.
on bookshelves or whatever.
So it's a quarter. Okay, I looked it up. It's quarterly. So I
Okay.
think when you're doing a quarterly and it's a higher price point, to me, I feel like we're dealing with a higher profit margin anyway. Because like you can have like a leaner staff. You don't have to put out a magazine. I think putting out a magazine every month would just kill your margins.
I mean, Entertainment Weekly is not even weekly anymore. Did you guys know that? It comes out once a month.
Forget it.
That
End
was
this
hard to take.
podcast.
I know. Isn't that depressing? I loved EW when I was younger.
I know it used
I'm
to
an
be
Us
so
Weekly
amazing.
girl. Us Weekly for
So
me.
Barrymore is teaming with Bauer Media Group to launch Drew, a quarterly lifestyle magazine that focuses on many of her passions, including beauty, travel, and food. Like Clay said, it'll be debut exclusively at Walmart. On June 14th at $9.99, and then be available on newsstands nationwide a week later.
I want it. I want it
First
bad.
of all, I love the name Drew. It's perfect. It's classic.
It's absolutely classic, simple, one
Timeless.
word. Rihanna, Madonna, Drew.
Yeah.
And the way that she announced it is she really led with the fact that she's a lifelong magazine junkie. And
I
to
believe
me,
it.
I believe it too.
Yeah.
And she posted these pictures of her in her childhood bedroom, and her walls are literally plastered in magazines. Did you
guys do that when you were younger?
Yes. Cut out picture of the Olsen twins, weird like Ralph Lauren perfume ads. Like it was so chaotic.
Do you want to know how cool
Shakira.
I was? I only did black and white pictures for magazines. So my entire room was, and not just like square, like cut out, like literally my entire walls were a collage. And I really wish I did that up until I was in my mid-20s, until I got my gay lover, Renee, and he said, you can't have pictures on the walls like that anymore. It's actually depressing after a certain age.
Guys, I have some more updates here. Barrymore's been working on the magazine for roughly 2 years, and she was partially inspired to launch it after working on a zine ad campaign for Flower Beauty a few years ago. She's editor-in-chief. It has not yet been decided if Barrymore will appear on the cover each quarter. They're going to listen to the audience, see what the people want.
We want Drew.
We want Drew.
Yeah.
We want Drew on the cover.
Maybe with
For
another
sure.
person, but we want Drew.
Maybe.
Well, I forgot to say that zine culture is now a huge thing, and I have a couple clients who are actually coming out with zines. So it's sort of, what is the difference between a zine and a magazine?
A zine really refers, I almost think of it as like the 90s like DIY
Underground
magazine movement.
Yeah.
Like a zine technically in its most proper form is like 8 by 11 pieces of paper that are like folded and stapled, and you like make a magazine with your, you know what I mean, with like printer paper, and you do a layout like that. But you know,
did you guys do
corporations are
tabloids in high
co-opting-
school?
I didn't have any subscriptions proper, but I really
No. I mean, like, we would do, like, the Mean Girls. I'm not saying I was involved, but we would full out print, like, tabloids about, like, the students.
What? That's so
like
lame.
gossip.
Okay,
Yes.
never mind. We didn't do that.
What?
Well, when
I didn't do it. It was a thing. I contributed to a couple issues, but that's it.
Wait,
contributing
did you
editor.
like? It's like a burn book. Like
It
I don't
wasn't like a
understand.
burn book. It was mostly, like, who's hooking up with who, that kind of thing. It was, like, end of senior year. Okay, Esther's pissed.
That's
It's
just
just
because her popsicle's over.
Esther, do
No.
you get another popsicle? Wait, how cute is Esther's necklace?
So cute. I love it.
Thanks, you
Can I
guys.
have it?
I'm a cool girl. I don't know if I get to keep it because it's from my stylist. You'll have to ask
Okay.
him.
Wait, but back to the magazine. In terms of how magazines make money, I was in Esther's bathroom
The advertisers.
yesterday, and there was an issue of women's fitness. And I opened it up, and every time I open a lot of women's lifestyle magazines, they have
It's women's health.
It's women's health. So many of these magazines are so clearly payola. Like every list, every like 5 products you need, summer space scrubs. Like I've never heard of any of them. Like none of them are really tried and true. Like it's so clearly pay for play and editorial product featuring now. Like I think that that's how these magazines are making their money. They're getting product placement fees. And
It's always been like that, Caroline. Every time you see someone saying, this is the product, the makeup that I used on this client for this red carpet, anytime you see anyone mentioning a product, they're getting paid most of the time.
okay, you just blew my mind. I'm a little shaken.
That's
And
not
in
okay with
the
me.
2000s, and when magazines had money, like I know that like when I was assisting people, they would get paid like, I kid you not, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to mention a certain product a number of times.
Well, I'm reading this book right now by this woman, Bevy Smith. It's called
Oh my God, I love
Bevy
Bevy Smith.
Smith.
I'm a Bevelations listener, and I really want to read
She
the
has
book.
a podcast?
She had a radio show on Sirius for years.
Because I was a fashion... What was
Fashion
the show?
Queens.
Fashion Queen.
Fashion
Fashion
Queens,
Queens
yeah.
is where I fell in love with her. She's an amazing, like, media personality, and she's so wonderful and funny
Wise,
and smart,
hilarious,
beyond
yeah.
her years. And Bevelations is so fascinating, and she came from the magazine world. She worked at Vibe and Rolling Stone and a couple other places in, like... kind of like the advertising department. Again, these magazines had these huge staffs back then, and she would like be in charge of securing ads. But the way she describes the magazine lifestyle, she had a budget, her own like expenditures budget was like hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that she could just spend to do whatever she wanted. I mean, it was such a high flying lifestyle. And that also reminds me of one time I was with a girl who worked at Allure, and she said Allure's number one the number one way they made money was by licensing out, like the Allure Best of Beauty Awards.
I know, yeah.
The brands, when you win, I'm putting win in quotes, the Best of Beauty Award.
It's like the Electoral College, basically.
If you get this, there's this seal, and obviously you see that seal on products, Best of Beauty winner. And these brands have to they license that seal out. Brands pay yearly to use the seal, even if they won it like 5 years ago. You can still buy it, and that's the number one way Allure makes money. And it's just all a mess.
I mean, I'll say this: like, I've been in the beauty industry for a while, but I've seen it change so much just since I was an assistant, like 7 or 8 years ago. Magazines used to pay me as an assistant to the hairstylist. Like, they'd fly me first class with a driver picking me up from the airport, all that. Like, put me up in a hotel just for, like, a shoot with a big magazine as the assistant. And now they're like, it's basically like doing work for Esther where I have to pay them, and I'm lucky if I get canned water. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, canned water. Depends on the mood Esther's in.
Yeah. But that's what it's like now. It's crazy. Everything's for credit now in magazines.
What are the magazines that let's talk magazines. What magazines do you have a subscription to? What do you love? Because I really do feel passionately about a couple of magazines that are out there.
Me too.
I've always loved
let's
Interview.
Talk about historical bests and current faves. Like, I want to talk all magazines right now.
Okay, Interview magazine to me was everything. Like, that was my whole wall was Interview magazine pictures growing up.
Andy Warhol.
Founded by Andy Warhol.
Big. It was a nice big sheet.
Huge, yeah.
Huge, physically a huge magazine.
Yeah.
Speaking of size, I love when magazines play with size. Like, remember when Teen Vogue was small?
Loved that. It was like an Archie's Double Digest.
And the whole point of that,
for it
was originally so that, like, you could, like, put your Teen
in
Vogue in your text or in the textbook, like, during class. Like, you just, like, put your textbook and, like, no one would know the difference.
Do you guys remember how every issue of Teen Vogue would have, like, a really cool, like, health and wellness write-up that had, like, the art, it always, every week it had the same, like, style of art photographs, and it would be, like, this week they're talking about eating disorders, this week, like, it was, like, really serious, like, mental health-ish. Do you remember that?
I know, but I feel like Teen Vogue's always been sort of on the forefront of that. Like, I love Teen Vogue.
Same. Absolutely. I was obsessed. I always looked forward to that article. I want to look at
Teen Vogue has been in, like, a really had an amazing couple years online. I think they're really on, like, the forefront of, like, talking about, like, racial issues and, like, injustice and
Me Too, like, all of their
editor-in-chief. I don't know this whole story, but it was like this. Yeah. Well,
they had a little scandal, but I think they've cleaned up for themselves. But I loved Interview, and I loved.
Yes.
Well, I loved. Did you guys read Entertainment Weekly or no?
In the 90s, it was amazing, but when I open an EW now, I'm like falling asleep. It's
I haven't opened, but there wasn't that. You didn't have like BuzzFeed or you didn't have but before that was like I would literally
everything.
This is how sad I was. I would literally like when the new fall TV schedule would come up, I literally would get a highlighter and highlight like we gotta try this show. Oh, I got this one looks good. Oh, like, Mismatch.
8 Simple Rules, sign me up.
No, I remember being so excited for the Alicia Silverstone vehicle Mismatch, where she played a matchmaker. NBC Friday nights, I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to go out like 8th grade and Friday nights. I got to watch Mismatch.
Clay, did you ever watch the short-lived Pam Anderson sitcom where she worked at a bookstore?
No, Stacked. Yes. I love Stacked.
Duh. Yeah.
I love Stacked.
Loved.
Me
with
too.
the girl from Hairspray on Broadway.
Yes. Yes. Marissa Jarrett Winokur. Yeah. Yes,
Stacked
bitch.
was everything.
I thought it was like funny. I remember watching and being like, I love this show.
I know. She's funny. It was really short-lived though. It got canceled really quickly, I feel like.
It was the Alone Together of its time.
You guys, Alone Together has 20 episodes. You guys, 20 episodes of a show now is basically like 5 seasons of a show.
It's,
like,
I know, it
huge.
is crazy.
Big.
It is.
I know. Everybody's Together right now on Hulu.
Yeah, stream Alone Together.
Can we talk about YM and Jane?
Yes.
Jane was everything. And
I never read Jane. Tell me about it.
Jane is founded by media impresario Jane Pratt. She's like a legend in her own right. The beauty editor was like Jean Godfrey June, who's this like legendary beauty editor who has an amazing memoir too. And Jane was just like cool girl. It was kind of like the evolution of Sassy, which was from the 90s, a little before all of our times. Mm-hmm. But it was like cool girls on the cover, like Courtney Love, like that kind of vibe.
Did Jane become XOXO Jane?
XO Jane, it was when it turned into a website, which I also really
that I read because of Kat Marnell.
Who is my hero and goddess, and I subscribe to her Patreon, and it's the best $5 I spend every month.
Wait,
amazing.
Slow down. What do you get on her Patreon?
She does a column like bi-monthly.
And what
That's it. I just love her writing. She's an amazing
Yeah, her
writer.
writing, her book is incredible.
Everything. How to Murder Your Life.
How has
I
it
know
not
I've
been
asked-
turned into a show?
It is. It's being turned into a show starring Zoe Deutsch.
By the way,
I
Zoe Deutsch
gleaned
is
that
here.
from
I love
context
her.
clues. Me
but let me just
too.
say something. If you've ever seen Zoe Deutsch on a TV screen or a movie screen, the girl is electric. I think that she is going to be the romantic comedy star of our time. I can't keep my
She
eyes
already
off her on
is,
screen.
Clay. She's like in
Okay.
the biggest romantic comedy of the last 3 years.
And like you guys maybe have never heard of her. She's like the biggest star. But I just think she's so electric on screen in a way that people really aren't.
In the way that
Isn't
Esther's
her-
necklace is.
Wait,
And the way
isn't
that
her-
Esther is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Her mom is
Her mom's Leah Thompson.
from Back to the Future.
amazing, incredible,
And Dennis the
huge.
Menace.
Oh, of course. Such a classic, by the way.
Caroline in the City.
I mean, what can't she do?
Yeah.
So, other magazines, I do want to wrap this up. I just want to talk about my current magazine subscriptions. I am addicted to New Beauty, another quarterly, and I think it's also at that same Drew price point. I'm surprised you don't know what New Beauty is. Clay, it's an
I know
industry
it.
leader in makeup, hair, skincare, but they'll go in depth on new plastic surgery procedures, like an in-depth article on retinol that you didn't even know. That it's in the way that women's fitness or a women's lifestyle magazine will scratch
Yeah.
the surface of beauty. This is for the true beauty junkies out
Yeah.
there.
Cool.
And it's
Doesn't
so
it skew
thick.
older?
Yes, it's truly for older women, I shouldn't say old women,
Cool.
who it's very plastic surgery heavy, and the whole back half of it is reviews of plastic surgeons. It's more like a plastic surgeon yellow pages than anything else.
Advertisement.
I
You
love
guys
that.
Bon
I'm
Appetit. Shout out to Bon Appetit, which
Oh,
I
sure.
don't know if it's okay to still like Bon Appetit because they're maybe a little racist.
We're giving passes to all the mistakes that magazines have made because they are struggling. So we are gonna make some
And
passes.
I want to hear. I love magazine subscriptions, and they're so cheap, and I love supporting print media. Glomies, tell us your favorite magazine subscription.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know what's very strange, you guys? Is I never subscribed to Out magazine. I just didn't.
What do you want, a
It
fucking
showed
medal?
no. It showed up when I
Oh.
turned 18, and it has followed me to every address that I've ever been to, and I don't know who's paying for it. I don't know if someone heard me lisp somewhere once, and they did some sort of Minority Report scanning on me. But no matter where I go, Out magazine shows up.
Okay, that's weird. You're on some kind of Chechnyan list.
I know. I'm literally when they round us all up, they're just gonna get the Out subscription list, and I'm worried. For that.
I used to read dance magazine and ballet magazine were really big for me, and then also I would always go for a random yoga magazine, even though I don't do yoga, but
That's weird.
I love reading the health and wellness articles and those I still subscribe to Women's Health. It's one of my favorite magazines. I love the editor. I think it's so good. I just get such tingly happy sense memories of sitting in a Barnes and Noble pulling all
On
the
the
magazines and then going
Spilling
and sitting
coffee
down
everywhere. I would literally just spill. I would be I don't need a lid. I'm in a bookstore. I'm not going to need a lid, and just spilling coffee everywhere. Wait, I will show you guys something. I'm going to be annoying. Can I show you something?
Please. And also, I just want to say for the record, a magazine is better when you read it on the floor.
Because I never buy magazines, but
Oh,
I've started to be
Wonderland.
and now I'm starting to buy when I have a nice cover that I like. I'm buying it. So I bought this Wonderland that
That's
I did the cover,
beautiful.
and
Oh.
it is so satisfying to go, and it's just crazy to So I did Maddie Ziegler for the cover of Wonderland. And I was oh, I actually really like these images. I'm really hard on myself normally, but I'm wait, I want this.
That's nice.
It's so cool to see so big.
That's
I don't know.
so nice.
That is so
Wonderland
cool.
looks good. I want to get Wonderland.
I know, it looks really
I'm gonna
nice.
start buying the magazines that I have covers of. Right?
Oh,
Is that
another-
annoying?
No, are you
No.
kidding?
Is
I
that
think it's
Valerie
weird if-
Cherish?
No,
Do you know how
have to
many
do that.
copies I have of the Forbes magazine that I'm in?
Can I have one?
No, I don't. I can spare one.
I really would love one.
I
You
got
know that
my
would.
Forbes 30 under 30 page framed.
Wait,
and
you got a Forbes 30 under 30?
You know it.
Wait, Caroline, that's fucking cool.
Esther has it too.
We
Okay,
both
well, I
have
don't.
it.
Okay, I don't.
Esther
And I never
both
will.
Proud 30 under 30s, but I didn't get my own picture or anything in the magazine. It's just the page of entertainment, and Cole and Dylan Sprouse are the big backsplash picture, and my name is just really small on the page next to Dylan Sprouse's face.
Are we brunette powerhouses low key?
I think so.
Yeah.
Are we the three turtles in the Entourage reboot?
Yes,
I
we
mean,
are.
From your mouth to HBO's
I know I
ears.
am.
Yeah. Okay, good.
If you're listening to Glowing Up, you know that Esther and I are busy, possibly too busy for our own good. We both have like 15 jobs each. And being busy means that sometimes you don't have the time or energy to cook something healthy. I mean, I love to eat healthy. I love to eat. And if I'm in a pinch and I need something fast, sometimes I don't know what to do. But now I don't have to worry because I've got Daily Harvest, which is one of our all-time favorite sponsors on the show. If you don't know, Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. It takes minutes to prepare. It's ready when you are. You keep everything in your freezer, and you can just always rest easy knowing you have super healthy stuff in your freezer. And you know they've got smoothies. Their smoothies are my favorite. The ginger greens, I believe it's what it's called, is one of my all-time favorite smoothies, straight up. But they've also got crisp flatbreads for lunch or dinner. They've got roasted harvest bowls and soups, all kinds of things. They never use preservatives, added sugar, or artificial anything. Plus, they have a recently launched almond milk, which is truly just made of almonds and sea salt, and that's convenient. You know why? Because then you can make smoothies with your almond milk from Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest is also committed to minimizing their environmental impact. They're transitioning to 100% compostable, recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging. It's delicious, clean food without the prep. Get started today by going to dailyharvest.com and entering promo code GLOWINGUP to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code GLOWINGUP for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. And again, that's dailyharvest.com. One of today's sponsors is the light of my life. It's the joy of my universe. It is my favorite market, my favorite app, my favorite place to get healthy, affordable foods. You know it's Thrive Market. What else could it be? Esther and I have been Thrive Market fans for so long. And why, you ask? Because Thrive Market is an online marketplace, the yearly membership that has all your favorite healthy snacks, pantry staples, cleaning products, anything and everything you need that you like to get at your local favorite health food store, but for way cheaper. It is so convenient, so wonderful. I've discovered so many snacks that I love on Thrive Market. I always get my Smart Sweets on Thrive Market, my Lesser Evil popcorn, my nuts, my alternative flours. Truly, when you open my pantry, it is a Thrive Market explosion in there. I have the app on my phone. Whenever I'm low on something, I just add it to my cart and I don't have to think about it. I am crazy about Thrive Market. And like I mentioned, the prices are so good. This is not a joke. And now Thrive Market has 2 new membership options. There's a 1-month membership for $9.95 a month or a 12-month membership for $5 a month. You're billed at $59.95. And an exciting new offer that's exclusively, I said that word weird, available only for our listeners. You can join today to get 25% off your first order and a free gift. So let's wrap it up. What are the headlines here? Thrive Market, online membership-based market, on a mission to make healthy living easier. You'll enjoy guaranteed savings and member-only prices. They've got the best selection of high-quality, healthy, and sustainable products. It's good for you and it's good for the planet. Orders of 49 or more are shipped for free and delivered with carbon-neutral shipping from their zero-waste warehouse. Join Thrive Market today to get 25% off your first order and an exclusive free gift. The only way to get this offer is by going to thrivemarket.com/glowingup. That's THRIVE market.com/glowingup to get the exclusive offer of 25% off your first order and a free gift. You can't get this offer anywhere else. Go to thrivemarket.com/glowingup.
Caroline and I had such a fun moment yesterday. We met up at the mall.
It was like
and
the perfect Esther and Caroline day.
We went to Aritzia and we went to Sephora, and it was so wonderful. Clayton, I would say I wish you were there, but I know you don't do social gatherings.
I was working, just like, I did work all day on Easter. It's just normal,
I mean, oh God, who's even? I don't.
But
I
Caroline and I, we tried on. There was a really long line for the Aritzia.
You guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what Aritzia is. Please tell me.
Oh, let Esther tell you.
Okay, Aritzia is founded in Canada. It's a clothing store, but it's like they have really cool, cute stuff, and it's at a price. It's not it's not cheap, but it's not like crazy expensive like Hollywood people. It's just like I bought a really cute skirt, and I think it was like $80. It's kind of a lot.
I love prices like that. No.
It's like an And Other Stories price point.
I want to pay $80 to $140 for everything.
Well, then you
Exactly,
should go to
because you know you're getting good
sleepoverbyesther.com.
I love that.
Sleepover.
Aritzia is so amazing. I don't know who owns it. I don't know who started it, but it's like chic, high quality. Oh, this dress I'm wearing. I got this dress yesterday.
Let me see.
So I made her try it on in the middle of the store.
Let me see the back. Oh, I just want to see your butt. Nice butt.
And I got this skirt, Clayton. I think I texted you about it this morning.
I'm sorry I didn't respond to the text about the skirt you got. It was very vague. You just said, "Oh, Clay, I got a skirt." Cool.
Well, yeah, let's start from the top. So there was such a long line for the dressing room, and I was like, the store was crowded, but Esther was like, let's just try it on here. And usually
That's
I don't
how I
mind
was
like
raised.
throwing on like obviously like a sweatshirt or like a jacket in the middle of the store. But I mean, I was fully slipping off my entire existing dress and putting on a different dress. My nipples were out in the middle of a Aritzia.
I don't care about that stuff. I'm shameless when it comes to that.
Oh my god! If you grew up going to Loman's in a communal dressing room,
Yeah. Who cares?
If I haven't been asked by a sales associate 3 times, "Ma'am, would you like a dressing room?" then I'm not really living my life. Caroline and I also went to Sephora, and Caroline has done so much research and preparation for the semi-annual. No, that's Victoria's Secret. What's
the
it called?
VIB.
Yeah, VIB
VIB.
beauty sale.
Yeah, look up your local dates. My cart is stacked right now, and going into the Sephora and being able to shade match a couple things that I was on the fence on was so helpful. And it feels pretty safe. You get an associate, and they will take their own clean spoolie and sample for you, and like put it on a clean like blending palette, and you can just like dip your finger on it. I mean, look, let's be honest. Going to a Sephora and sampling things is probably not like the most COVID safe thing I could do.
I feel like it was dirty even before there was a pandemic in the world.
I mean,
Didn't a girl get herpes from a Sephora
Oh,
tester?
I feel like
Honey,
that's
I'm
an urban
sure.
legend, but like probably has happened hundreds of times.
Come
It's
on.
like, yeah, a herpes. A herpes will happen. You know,
I have a
herpes
cousin who's convinced that she got herpes from recreating the Meet Me in St. Louis trolley scene, like on an actual trolley in San Francisco and putting her mouth against it.
Really?
Yeah, that's her story.
That's her story. I'd love for her to come on the podcast and share her story when she's ready.
Yeah,
But it
we'll
was
get an
so
exclusive.
fun. My cart is like stronger than ever. I'm so happy I tried some things in the store. I was so happy to like guide Esther. We were like adding Esther, you just bought what you needed yesterday though. You're not even going to do the sale.
This is what I don't understand about you, Caroline. Like, I wish I had this skill. You are so patient. When I want something, I can't wait. Like, I can't wait a week to get my new black eyeliner. I really wanted black eyeliner. I was there. I'm like, I'm just getting it. I got the Marc Jacobs gel eyeliner. I was going to get Urban Decay because I thought that was like the best eyeliner to get. But then you and the sales associate were like, no.
Oh, did
Marc
you see
Jacobs.
how I knew the hot black crayon eyeliner to get? Marc Jacobs. I said it before the sales girl.
Caroline, like,
But Caroline, what are you being patient for? Like for the sale to happen?
It's 20% off everything. I'm not going to get something a week before the sale and know
God,
that
you
I could have
gotta
saved
teach-
20.
Esther and Caroline, can you teach me your ways? I'm literally begging you to teach me. How do I
I
get into this
don't
mindset?
buy anything at Sephora unless it's during the VIB sale. I save all my purchases for the VIB sale.
I don't know how she does this. This is I
But
can
Esther,
do it
you're
a little
very
bit.
good. You're very good with saving and all that. I'm learning.
I am, and also Caroline, you were very spendy at Aritzia. You were like, "Oh, black shorts, throw those in," and then I was like, "Oh, I got to keep up with Caroline." Same. Like, I was shocked, but I was like, if she's doing it, I have to do it too.
What
like,
kind
she's
of shorts?
Bike
Bike
shorts, really
shorts.
soft, buttery bike shorts.
Girls love bike shorts these days.
But these Aritzia
Yeah.
ones are nice. They're not constricting. Like, I have a pair of Amazon ones that are so constricting and make my thighs look like encased sausages screaming for their life. I've since given those away. The Aritzia ones have so much give and so much buttery softness.
And
Do
I'm
they sell
by the way-
men's or no?
Aritzia has no men's section.
Okay, well that's
Sorry.
that's okay.
I'm so
Let me look at their
sorry.
website. Sorry,
I'm
fuck.
not.
Ouch.
I work hard and I will spend on myself. Today I splurged. I went on a solo shopping spree. I went
Today.
Yes.
Where?
Chinatown.
What did you get?
Jewelry. I got platform flip-flops.
I want to go shopping with you guys.
Same.
Guys,
I
look
want
at
to go to
these platform-
Chinatown.
Wait,
bitch.
show us the platforms. I'm annoyed if you don't show me.
Will you take a shot?
Oh, yeah, they're cute.
Look at that. And they came in higher and low. They came in all different kinds of heights. I mean,
I
this
love
is
that.
gonna
They're
be
very Dharma and Greg.
They're very, like, I'm going to be rocking these all hot girl summer long.
I'm
My
obsessed.
I mean, if I don't slip a disc and shatter my ankle in these at Aritzia next
I want
week.
you to have literally femur issues from those shoes,
shin
baby.
splint summer.
Yeah.
Shin splint summer.
Girl summer. Okay, well,
Look at
you know
this
where
diamond ring I bought myself today.
everyone's bragging.
I know.
Okay,
Look,
well,
I'm a shopaholic. Whatever.
So, well, you know where I do all of my shopping?
On
eBay.
I love eBay.
I buy all my vintage clothes on eBay. Ask me if they fit. Never.
Save them for me. I'll buy them off you. I do all my selling on eBay. I'm a sneaky eBay seller. I'm selling
I used
on
to
the
sell
low.
on eBay. Wait, should I be selling on eBay?
Oh, if you have time, it's a little time consuming. But here
Yeah.
and there, I get such a thrill of selling clothes that I was like almost just gonna throw in a bag and give to Goodwill.
And
How
how
do you
much do
even-
you...
Yeah.
It's
I
not-
used to do it. I used to do it.
It's more to me like the clothes that I would just give to Goodwill. The thought of if I could make like $40 off something, it's worth the effort to me.
That's a lot to make off of something you
You
were going
guys,
to give away.
I used to sell vintage shirts on eBay, and now I'm literally looking for the ones that I sold when I was 20 to try to get back. It's like really bad.
What's the
I'm on
holy
the hunt.
grail? What's the one that
Yeah.
got away?
It was this Dick Tracy Madonna shirt, Breathless, and it was so worn thin. Like you could see through it, and it's just this cartoon of Madonna's face, Vogue era, and I just said, I'm breathless. And it disappeared, and I have bought the same shirt, but it's not as soft. It's just, I feel like I made Esther wear it once. Did I not?
It's cool. I've seen you wear it. It's just
But
it's really
not,
cool.
It's not as thin as the other one. It'll never be as good. I'm chasing that high. That's like my, like Sackler family. That's my red dragon that I'm trying to
Dude,
chase.
I have the same. I lent one of the cool
Oh,
girls in
this
my high
hurts.
school
This hurts.
my Britney Spears "Dream Within a Dream,"
Well, describe
shirt.
it, can you?
all black. It was like the "Slave for You" look, just her body, and then like the tour dates on the back. I fucking lent it to her. She never gave it back to me. I even texted her about it like 5 years ago. She's like treating me like I was crazy.
Oh, gaslighting you.
I would have
You're
had
like,
that my
it's been
whole
12 years,
life.
but-
That would have been an heirloom handed down to like everyone.
Of course.
It kills me.
Donuts, kids.
My
Don't-
stripped justified tour shirt, I will pass down to my children. Like that is
So
just
jealous.
mwah, that's amore.
The holy grail for me that I've never been able to get, for some reason, Lauryn Hill, any variation of Lauryn Hill, the Fugees, are so expensive. They're like egregiously expensive.
Because it was so
Rare,
It
'cause
was
she-
so short lived.
Right. But like
Yeah.
a Miseducation era Lauryn Hill shirt, they go for like $700. Like you cannot find one for less than $500. And also a Waiting to Exhale.
Oh.
Clay, are you aware of like the culture around vintage Waiting to Exhale shirts?
Well, I mean, I've tried to buy a lot of Whitney vintage stuff, and it's really hard.
Also very
But
expensive.
I also love Waiting to Exhale. I'm going through a hardcore Barbara phase right now, and I did buy a bunch of Barbara shirts off eBay, which were pretty reasonable.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Esther wore one of them in a picture recently, but I just got like
saw.
a white one that's really cute, where she has sort of like a crimped hair. It's really good.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, we have to like blow up. What's the next hot vintage area? Barbara's a really good.
But it has to be something more recent.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to be the next hot thing.
Someone's
is
still
like,
alive.
Yes. Well,
mean-
Barbara's alive.
No, I'm saying
Watch
like
it.
if it's someone's who's alive, I feel like it's easier to get the shirt. And we need to stock up on them now.
Like, is it going to be, like, do we find an old Osbourne's shirt with just, like, Sharon on it and a quote that's thin? Like, that would be sick.
Any
That's really
Osbourne's
sick.
merch would be very, very cool. Let's look
That's
that up.
I
really
have the Holy Grail Anna Nicole bobblehead
Oh,
that
an
Santa gave me.
Anna Nicole bobblehead. That's. What about like 90s TV t-shirt, like a Dharma and Greg shirt? Like just to
Well-
piggyback on whoever said that reference earlier.
Wait, what would be a really good... Well, you know what show I was so weirdly obsessed with in the 90s that wasn't even a hit, but I would fully draw pictures of it with Suddenly Susan, okay? I was like a 10-year-old Suddenly Susan stan and would draw pictures of like Kathy Griffin on it as a 10-year-old.
I
Anyway.
love the stories that Kathy Griffin tells about Brooke Shields in the Suddenly Susan era. I could...
Justice
those
for
are-
Kathy Griffin. Can we get Kathy Griffin on the show?
I would love
she's-
that. I
mean,
love her.
Why
I mean,
she
my
doesn't have a
life on the D-
podcast?
Good question. My Life on the D List is the best show.
It's Emmy winning. It is so good. Oh my god. Well, okay, you guys, so are you guys still into TikTok?
Absolutely, aggressively so.
Can I ask you a question? What does your feed look like these days?
My feed's so chaotic. I did something
Okay.
horrible to my algorithm and I can't get it back.
I feel like a lot of people have, and that's why I ask. What is
I
it
liked
looking
like one Disneyland video and my feed has a lot of weird like Disney freak stuff in it.
Been
Like,
there.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. That's all I watch.
I'm a secret Disney freak, but like I don't like to lead with that, but I can throw down pretty hard on Disney stuff.
Are you interested in like the history of the parks and
Yes,
stuff?
I'm pretty well
Do
versed
you
on it.
know about Defunct Land?
I've seen many
Do you know
episodes.
what I'm talking about?
I love Defunct
Tell me.
Land.
Okay,
Tell
it's
me.
a YouTube channel with this guy, and he does like history 30 minute, like sometimes 40-minute deep dives into like the Superstar Limo attraction in California Adventure.
Classic,
from-
which has been converted into the Monsters Inc. And
Thank
they didn't
you,
have
you
enough
watched
money.
it.
And they didn't have enough money to change some of the things. So like some of the like Regis Philbin, who was like fanning out money on the thing, is now like Roz from Monsters Inc. She's like holding tickets. The other classic Defunct Land episodes. There's this like scary ride at Tokyo Disney that's like under the castle. It's like Disney's scariest attraction.
Okay.
It's like all about the villains.
Not
It's, like,
Alien Encounter, though. Have you watched the Alien Encounter
No,
one?
I haven't.
Oh, that's another scary Disney ride that became Stitch's Alien Encounter, but before then it was terrifying.
I also
Esther's
love...
disassociating right now.
sorry,
Esther,
Esther,
I just
we
watched
lost
her soul leave her body. Okay, if anyone else watches Defunct Land, or there's another channel called Yesterworld,
Esther World.
Oh wait, did I say Esther World?
No.
No, it's called Yesterworld. Is that where we got Esther World?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. It's the best stuff to like put on in the background while you're cleaning the house or doing stuff.
But once you like dig a little bit into Disney stuff, your feed becomes like weird like Disney couples who are like who are taste testing snacks at Disney World.
I went through a
watch
weird
those
phase of watching this couple eat food at Disney World.
I
before
think
the
I know
pandemic.
exactly what channel you're talking about. And when I had my
no.
annual pass, I became like really into Disney food culture, and I would like. It was like different holidays. There were like special foods. I was like, I have to go get like a holiday beignet. Like,
Yeah, I'd be like, the strawberries are limited.
okay.
What do you guys make? What do you guys? Sorry.
Wait. Before we go on, one more thing. And
TikTok
then I will
feeds.
shut up. But one more thing is, at the new, which I haven't been on, but the new Star Wars, the big intense Star Wars ride at Disney
never
World.
got to go on it.
I didn't go on either. But the Kylo Ren is the Wicked Witch of the West from the like MGM
Really?
movie ride. It's literally, and if you look at it, it's literally like Kylo Ren's like femininely like woo like moving. And it's the Wicked Witch's action.
Wait, and I just want to say, I also
We're
get
addicted.
really calm watching like 4K ride-throughs on YouTube of like
Me
Disney
too.
I
Wait,
love
Shanghai
Tokyo-
Disney Pirates.
The animatronics are so crazy on
You've
that.
never
I'm
seen.
obsessed.
You go.
Can you guys
under the
link some
water.
of this in the stories on Glowing Up? Because I need to.
So
We're gonna do a
calming,
whole-
so
yeah.
calming. Ace
What do
and
you-
Disney Sea, best. My
Disney
dream
Sea,
Disney
the best
Sea.
park, the
It's a
best
whole park
park.
that's like aquatic themed, and it's like different.
Wait,
oceans.
really?
Yes, in Tokyo, and it's supposed to be the best Disney park in the world.
Well, we're going
That
to
sounds
Asia.
so good. What do you guys make of these people, these like adults that like dedicate their whole lives to Disney? Like, what's
We're
your
not
thoughts?
dedicating our whole lives.
Not our whole
Esther.
lives, just our freedom, our fun time. Just our
I'm
downtime.
not accusing you guys, but what
I
do you
know a
make of
lot
those
Disney
people?
adults. Okay, I know a lot of Disney adults of varying degrees. I think you can't
And there's a lot of
paint them
Disney
with a
gays
broad-
too.
That's a whole other category. You can't paint Disney adults with a broad brush. There's different levels, there's different niches, and like I know a lot of different types. There's like the Clay and I's who are like casual, like we don't lead with it, but we're like clearly secret Disney.
But we
freaks.
have a season pass, and we'll watch Defunct Land.
Yes. And then you have, of course, like on your other end of the spectrum, people whose whole lives are Disney. Like I know a guy from my high school, I won't say his name, but his whole life was Disney to the point that he like
Pin collecting.
pin collecting is a whole other thing,
Yeah.
but he moved to Florida to try to work for Disney, but he couldn't become an Imagineer, so he just started working in hospitality, and he's like worked at Disney hotels his whole life, but he still like completely buys into the dream. And then you have God, you have your people that seem to go every day that are like annual pass holders. I don't know if they have a job, but they're like
They inherited money somehow, or they were in some sort of like accident and got paid out. It's a lot of people who I think were in really like hit by cars.
yeah.
And now
Hit by
need to
city
sort
buses.
of they're
Okay,
hit by cars.
now I'm listening.
Got paid by the city, and now they're sort of facing their fears by going to Cars Land every day. I don't know.
And then, of course, you have Club 33. I finally met my first Club 33 member this year. And when he ran down the costs for me, I couldn't believe the numbers.
How much?
How much is it?
I wrote it down somewhere, but roughly, and I'm butchering this, it's a one-time initiation cost of like, it's like 30 to 50,000. Like the one-time initiation cost is crazy, and then like yearly you pay, and the yearly fee is like in the same ballpark, like $10,000 to $20,000. But what you get is crazy. Of course, you get unlimited Club 33 access. You get, I believe, 40 one-day Disneyland passes to do with whatever you want. You get free parking at like a hotel.
Well, I would hope so. Free,
and you get like 10. You know, like
$30,000. You get free parking. Like, come
and
on.
you know the well, like at a hotel though, it's like special parking. And you know the guided tours that celebrities get.
Yeah, I've bilked those.
You get like 10 of those a year or something like that. And when he was telling me about it, I'm not going to say who it was, but he was like selling it to me to the point that when I was like convinced by the end of it that it was a good deal. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to not get a Club 33 membership.
You're like, I feel like I'm actually, I will save money in the end for sure. Yeah.
And I also, I can't. We have
Esther, that's the kind of accounting that works for me. Okay.
No, so I just want to say
we'll go on.
So when I was working for Freeform, like we got, you get once a year, you get to go on one of those guided tours. Like you get to take a couple friends or whatever. And so my mom was in town. So me, my mom, and Dave went on one of those tours where you get like your own tour guide and he takes you, you skip all the lines and he or she takes you. And I have to say, I was kind of like, this is Disneyland. Like, it's all the like the animatronics. It's like old technology.
Yeah,
like
that's the magic. What are you not getting? Okay.
I don't know. I was just a little.
Go to California Adventure.
Yeah, go put on a VR headset, okay?
I was just a little bit.
Of Disneyland are some of the
history.
very old rides that have been there since the 50s.
I think
it's different than like the Florida one. Like Disneyland's the OG.
I think I like the Florida one better.
Okay.
I get it.
What?
No, it's fine.
I've just never been, so I don't.
Okay, you guys, I did a shoot once, and then we will change the subject. But I did a shoot for Elle when I was an assistant back when they would, pay $1 billion, and we got to shoot in Disneyland before it opened.
Shut the
so
fuck up.
we did glam at the California Adventure Lodge Hotel. At,
Who was the
Grand
actress?
Californian,
it was a model.
Watch your mouth.
It was models, and it was 4 a.m. And then we walked out of the hotel into the park, watched the sunrise in the park, completely empty. It was, and then we got to go backstage where all like the cast members are.
Is it under the park?
It's sort of like
tunnels
behind
are Florida. Florida's
there are
tunnels.
it's not so much tunneled, but the thing that shocked me is there was a Subway franchise. Like they were eating at a Subway sandwich shop. Oh, is this bad? Cut it out. But there was a Subway sandwich franchise back there.
Okay, that's cool.
I am so obsessed with everything that you're telling me. I mean,
And they drank Pepsi. It was like, the staff drinks Pepsi, and in the park they drink Coke.
Really? Why?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. I feel like he's lying.
I will literally pull up the call sheets.
Wow. It's like on the show Disney Dream Weddings, also on Freeform. Esther, your network mate.
And Disney Plus.
This show where people will, it's their dream to get married at Disneyland or Disney World. And the whole show is like about them and their fiance who like doesn't want to as much, but they're just like going along with it. And in order to get married in the park, you have to either do it before the park opens or after it closes. So these poor people have these weddings at like 2
They're
in the
so
morning.
tired.
They're so tired. They're like
exhausted.
It's like final touches on the bride, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, and all the
She's
guests
like snoring.
All the guests are there, and it's like so late at night, but.
We would never get married. We're not like that. We're not.
That's
like
the thing. That's a whole other.
No, I know
you're
you're
like
not.
Disney marrying freaks. But
I don't think you guys are that into it. I really.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah,
fine.
cool.
If you don't think I'm that into it, like that's actually maybe better for me.
Well, back to my TikTok algorithm.
Yeah, what does it look like these days?
There's a lot of food stuff, and I would say it skews like keto, like weird keto talk.
Ugh.
And it's like girls putting cream cheese and bell peppers and shit like that.
That is so locked down. I can't.
It's a bit gnarly. And a lot of fitness and like body transformation TikTok.
Oh,
My
Dude.
TikTok has an eating disorder.
Esther, what is yours looking like?
Well, mine, I'm barely on it anymore, but sometimes I'll go on Dave's, like we'll be on Dave's phone and we'll look at his TikTok and it's
I'm
all
nervous.
like short girls with huge boobs, like shaking their ass. And I'm just like, this is Dave. Like, do you know what this means?
I mean, mine has a lot of man ass. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of man ass on mine.
It's
but
so funny.
I've also gotten into a really dark hole of Marie Osmond doll collecting and just really sad women showing their doll collections, and that's pretty hypnotizing too.
I'm gonna
That
need the
sounds
link
fun.
on some of those.
Yeah.
I really love niche TikTok. Like I like a lot of like marine parks and zoo TikTok accounts.
I like that too.
I really love any kind of like car repair or like a really niche area that I don't know anything about. I just like people like watching them talk about like repairing a motorcycle or I don't know.
That's interesting. I
God.
like that.
My mom's feed is all like sick babies. It's like people taking care of like terminal babies. It's really weird.
I don't want to get into the weird phase where mine went, where it was people that were really sick and being a lot of really sick, confused people. I'll leave it at that, and like their caretakers explaining to them and them holding baby dolls. But that thankfully has gone away for the
My
time being.
TikTok did a weird thing the other day where it was very like Selena heavy, and this weird TikTok came up on my feed that was like caption was like her last steps. She was so strong, and I was like, "What is this?" And it was like just a bird's eye like POV video from like a hotel room to a lobby
Of
It
her
was, like,
getting
this-
shot.
I guess it was like when I don't know the story, but when poor Selena, may she rest in peace, may
Yeah.
God bless her soul, rest in power, queen. When she was shot, she like had to like walk to a hotel. Anyway, it was so disturbing, and it was a really long walk.
But she was strong. Do you know they made a Selena TV show?
Oh yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, me neither. But but you watch that video of her, the bird's eye view from the hotel. That you'll watch. Actors put a lot of hard work into something, but you'll watch something shot from a hotel.
Look, when something's 45 seconds long, I'm gonna watch it.
Wait, speaking of hotels, guess where I was at today?
A hotel?
The Cecil Hotel.
No, it's closed.
Yes. I'm saying outside of it, they tried to make a shoot there, and it was just, I was like, I don't want to
Is it
shoot around
closed,
here.
really? The whole thing?
I don't know if the whole thing's
No,
closed,
it's
but
closed.
we shot all
They're-
around it.
It's becoming I think condos or something. They're completely renovating it. I did a shoot there 10 years ago and
what?
didn't like a indie short film a friend of mine was doing, and I was like, what is this place? Like it was because there's no bathrooms in the rooms. And so, like, there's just a community bathroom in the hallway, and there was just all these, like, crazy people going in and out of rooms. I just had I was like all the people in the documentary, like, I had no idea where I was. I didn't know it was dangerous, but it was really scary.
Well, that's what have you guys ever stayed at a hostel?
Ugh, I mean...
No, but I've done stand-up at some.
Wait, in the hostel?
Yes.
Where? In the communal bathroom?
In Hollywood, there's a youth hostel that had a stand-up show. It wasn't fun.
Was it a good set?
Bad, real bad.
Okay.
Okay, so Esther and I love our blue light glasses, and I'm so excited about our sponsor today. I'm talking about Blenders Eyewear. They make all kinds of protective eyewear, and you're going to be as hooked as us when you see how awesome their selection is. I am so pumped. I got a pair of blue light glasses. They're like this really slick aviator style. They're called the High Class Jess. Absolutely love the vibe just the name alone puts off. They're very sturdy. They protect my eyes. They reduce my eye strain. I wear them all day on my Zooms. I am obsessed. So unlike expensive big brand shades you've probably lost or smashed in the past, Blenders are actually affordable. So you're not going to be too upset when the inevitable happens. I mean, I lose glasses and sunglasses all the time, and it's true. These are at such an affordable price point. The blue light glasses I got were $48, which is pretty good for such a high quality pair of glasses. They've got a team of in-house designers that are constantly coming out with new styles. And it's not just blue light glasses. They've got a ton of sunglasses with insane polarization. I love that look when it's like this cool gradient polarization that protects your eyes. Like if you're a surfer or a snowboarder, like these are so good for people that are outside a lot. They've got prescription glasses. Like I mentioned, they have blue light glasses and readers, and they have a snow collection with like goggles and accessories. I mean, I don't ski, but if you do, this is a good place to check out. To score 15% off your Blenders purchase, visit blenderseyewear.com and enter promo code GLOWINGUPVIP. That's blenderseyewear.com, code GLOWINGUPVIP for 15% off. Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide.
Oh my God, you guys, I'm so excited about one of our sponsors today. It's a product I use literally every day. I'm not kidding. It's Four Sigmatic, and Four Sigmatic is a wellness company that is well known for its delicious mushroom coffee. So you're probably thinking, mushrooms? Are those shrooms? What is she talking about? No. Four Sigmatic uses really healthy adaptogenic mushrooms. Things like lion's mane mushroom for productivity and chaga mushroom for immune support. And they mix it with real organic, fair trade, single origin Arabica coffee. So it's like all the things I love most in this world, delicious, healing mushrooms, plus amazing coffee all in one product. I've been starting my day with their ground mushroom coffee with lion's mane, and I love how it helps me focus so I can get shit done. It's amazing, and I feel an uptick in my productivity every time I drink it. I don't know, lion's mane just makes me crazy in a good way. It's easier on your gut. It doesn't leave you with an awful jittery feeling. All their products are organic, vegan, gluten-free. Now you're thinking, okay, does the coffee taste weird? Does it taste like mushrooms? I can promise you it tastes just like regular coffee. It brews really well, dark and nutty. It tastes incredible. I like to mix it with a little of my homemade oat milk, a little stevia. Ooh, I want some right now. Plus, they have 20,000 five-star reviews, and they have a 100% money-back guarantee, which you know we love here at Glowing Up. You love every sip, or you're going to get your money back. So we've worked out an exclusive offer with Four Sigmatic on their best-selling mushroom coffee, but this is just for Glowing Up listeners, so come closer, listen very closely. Get up to 40% off plus free shipping on mushroom coffee bundles. To claim this deal, you must go to foursigmatic.com/glowingup. This offer is only for Glowing Up listeners, and it is not available on their regular website. You'll save up to 40% and get free shipping. So go right now to foursigmatic.com/glowingup and fuel your productivity and creativity with some delicious mushroom coffee.
Wait, okay. Speaking of algorithms, I'm on YouTube the other day, flipping, having fun, looking through YouTube. And I see a familiar face, and the face is Esther's. And I click the video of it, and Esther neglected to tell me in all of our friendship, we've talked about food so much, we've talked about fast food, that she was the face of Dairy Queen. Did you know this, Caroline, that she had a Dairy Queen campaign? A huge, big budget. She's the star of the Dairy Queen commercial.
What?
Caroline, you
Esther,
must have known that.
Not only did I not know it, but I'm so
Aren't you annoyed?
angered,
Thank you.
saddened, and shocked. We've talked
Thank
on this
you.
podcast, I think even
About
with Clay,
Dairy Queen.
About Dairy Queen, and why wouldn't you tell us?
And
I feel like I must have blocked it out. And it's
Wait,
weird that you
what?
don't know that.
Just
Caroline.
look up Esther Pavitsky Dairy Queen. She's
My
the star
fingers
of the
can't move
commercial.
fast enough.
But I guess it was before Alone Together, and look, it was the most exciting thing to happen to me in my life at the time. But then,
But
I got my own TV show.
That's not as
and-
cool. That's not as big. You know that's not as big, right?
Oh my!
Are you watching it?
I don't look
I'm
good.
trying to find it.
Should
I'm
we
trying to
have the
find it.
listeners? Should just do Esther
Best
Pavitsky.
Blizzard?
Clayton, what's
venue-
crazy is I was actually asked back the next summer and was in another Dairy Queen commercial, but I don't know if that one's online. That one was like less of a.
Should I
I just
share
like
Are you
was
my
the
watching it?
employee.
Yeah, you should share it on your screen because we should.
It's
The
shutting
viewers
down my
should watch
computer. It's shutting down my computer. My computer
Okay,
can't handle it.
How do we do it?
I think I introduced
I got it.
was introducing a special Blizzard menu.
I can
Okay.
do the whole commercial now. I've watched it so many times.
Esther, can I ask an insensitive question? How much
Yeah.
do you get paid for a national?
I've already
commercial?
asked this, and it's
Not
not,
a
what you
lot.
thought.
Like,
I've
it's a
only
lot,
heard
but-
that it's like so much money. That's what I've always heard.
I thought she was getting
No.
paid 10 times what she was getting paid.
No,
Okay, wait.
it's really. You have to be in like a big.
Okay, shh, the show's about to start.
Oh my god, I look so bad.
Can you hear it, Caroline?
I can't hear.
That's okay.
Oh wait. Oh, you guys can't hear it
It's the visual still. The visual.
because I
is
can
something.
hear every word. It's
So why don't
absolutely
we?
incredible.
So why don't we start from the beginning? And why don't we, Esther? Why don't you describe what's happening in the commercials for people that are just listening to the podcast?
So I'm in a high school auditorium and I'm standing at a big stage and behind me is a DQ curtain.
A giant curtain. What, like the ratio of your size to the stage, it's bigger than Madison Square Garden.
I mean, this CGI, it's like, no wonder you don't like the animatronics at Disneyland. Like, look at what you've worked with. Some of the best technology in the biz.
No wonder you didn't get paid much. It all went to the special effects. They had freaking George Lucas doing this.
I remember they got me Vince brand khakis, and I was like, oh, holy shit. I was like, ain't no Dairy Queen employee wearing Vince khakis. Like,
Yes.
I would never buy myself Vince.
By the way, it's paused right now. We
haven't started
so
it yet.
it's 30 seconds right now. We're paused at 0.0, so the audience knows. When I tell you she is tiny, tiny on the stage, Dairy
So
Queen outfit,
tiny.
waist snatched.
So
Boobs
tiny, so
sitting pretty. Go on. Okay, push play, and let's Esther go on.
Esther looks adorable.
So I'm supposed to be timidly giving an announcement. I'm looking very dorky. I'm wearing a visor.
Okay, push pause. So she just gave an announcement. The curtain just fell. The giant Dairy Queen curtain just fell, and now there's a giant screen bigger than IMAX, and it's of a blizzard.
With the nerds or cotton candy bites.
I think it's cotton candy bites. Esther, what is it?
I think you're right. Yeah, this was the promo was for they called it the best Blizzard menu ever.
Okay.
Press play.
Press play, yeah. We're at 12 seconds now. Okay, we have people at home cheering.
My body looks like weird.
Your body looks amazing.
Well, you're wearing hip-hugging Vince khakis. Lowrider khakis.
Yeah.
Esther, okay, push play. There's an old man screaming. Oh, people are celebrating the new menu. Best Blizzard menu ever. A woman's crying. A man's dancing in an office. And now Esther's cheering as Blizzard images
Esther,
go
I'm
behind
so
her.
proud of you.
Thank
And I
you
really
so
sincerely
much.
mean that. I am endlessly impressed, proud, always amazed with what you've accomplished.
No, Esther, you think that we're joking, but like to
I'm
me
not
and
joking.
Caroline, being the face of Dairy Queen, I can speak on behalf of both of us. Being the face of Dairy Queen is the coolest thing you've done so far.
I mean, and you've done a lot of cool stuff, but
Yeah.
that really got me.
Wow,
That
you guys.
really got me.
I have to say, you're right. You guys
get
are
it,
right.
right?
I do. Well, when it happened, I was appropriately insanely happy, like buzzing around my like house. Like Dave was like, it's just a commercial, and I was like, no, like I can't believe it. It was a really big
So
deal.
here's what we really haven't delved into yet is like, what was the audition process? How many times did you have to go in for it?
Just one audition and then a callback, and I
She
honestly,
nailed it.
She nailed
I
it.
honestly think that everyone could feel my energy and my love and passion for Dairy Queen. And after the shoot, I got invited to go to Boston and shoot like 3 additional web commercials where I was like riding around on, what are those things called? Where,
Segways?
yes, a Segway, and like handing out blizzards to people.
Oh
and
my God.
so
You
I
could have
got to
been like the flow progressive lady. Like you were like, when I tell you that she is so,
they
you
were
guys,
grooming
listeners-
me.
in every way. Okay, when I tell the viewers and listeners when they watch this commercial, Esther is so good in this commercial. It
She's
is some
so
of her
good.
best work.
Funny, poignant.
I'm surprised you didn't get your own show. All of the Geico cavemen got their own show.
Which
Look,
I also, speaking of weird shows, I loved. Watched every episode.
Me too. I thought it was really smart.
So funny. Me too.
There's a YouTube video. I'll send you the link about the making of it.
I need to watch
Look,
that,
maybe
yeah.
the Dairy Queen is subconsciously a sore area that it didn't turn into more. I would have
Right.
loved to have been a full-time Dairy Queen ambassador. I wish they'd hit me up these days. But yeah, I went to Boston and I was like with the ad people like the whole weekend in Boston, and I remember like going out to eat with them, and like I remember I kept wanting to talk about Dairy Queen and they did not give a fuck, and they wanted to stop talking, and I would just kept asking them questions after question like, oh my god, like so is the Oreo the most popular, like what do you guys know, like I was just so
Yes,
eager
you
and
were like
excited.
us. You are literally
Yeah.
the Dairy Princess. You
Yes.
are like that's your book. Like if you would actually, if it had gone on for like a years long campaign, you would do like your tell all like Confessions of a Dairy Princess.
And we're like the dairy ladies in waiting.
Yeah,
Plays
we
the
are.
dairy joker.
The jester.
The dairy jester.
Oh my god, Esther!
Wait, I'm the dairy chamber pot?
Yeah, the actual
An
pot.
object. It's not even a person in the court.
Open
Get
your
in the
mouth.
cupboard.
Oh,
Tease my
God.
mouth. You guys, I'm too tired. I got too excited talking about Disneyland and Dairy Queen, and we might have to wrap up.
I feel like it was a good one, though. I feel like we really were passionate today.
We
Passion
got through
was there.
so. I feel like we got to know each other quite.
Well, me and
deeply.
I forgot
Caroline,
we were recording.
me and Caroline really, once we got
Bevy
into our
Smith.
Disney, Bevy led us to Disney ultimately.
And I'm spent. I can't wait to record again. I can't wait to hang.
I know. Glomies, thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being here. As always, if you're up for it, like and review all the things. Subscribe to our YouTube page.
Before we go, we might have I want to start doing some giveaways on the show. So
Yes.
next week we're gonna have it all worked out. Where I'm gonna start. If you guys would be interested in like giveaway of like, I'm gonna do a whole Orbe basket and a video consultation where I'll show you how to use those products.
Are you
And-
kidding? What if I want to win it?
You're not eligible.
I'm so sorry.
I'm
The
sorry,
interest,
eligible.
the interest just isn't there on my side. But I do think that we'll have sort of like that. But we need you guys to like start watching on YouTube, subscribing, and I think that we should get more involved in the Instagram, guys. I think we should start like posting more. What do you think? Commenting back.
No, Esther and I, we need you leading this charge, Clay. We're weak and tired, and we need you to be our.
It's
our
well, you guys know I don't work. I have all the time in the world.
I
I'm not
know.
working 7 days a week. But be sure to like all of our stuff on Instagram. If you're not following the Glowing Up Instagram, I don't mind being a shameless promoter because that's what I do for a living. Follow us on Instagram. We're gonna start engaging with you more, and there's gonna be some really good giveaways next week.
I'm gonna engage.
Yay,
the
I'm
shit
really
out of you guys.
excited. I've seen some of the products that are in the giveaway and I'm so into it. And I believe it'll be a situation which if you guys, we might even use this week's episode. So like this video, comment on the video, and that'll pretty much be how you enter the giveaways moving forward. And I think that's it. And Caroline has she sells tinned fish. You can go to eatfishwife.com for more. I sell hand-dyed thingy-mabobs, sweatpants, sweatshirts. I know my friends love them. You can go to sleepoverbyesther.com for those and sign up for my text alert thing for new drops. That's on my Instagram. What else, you guys? Is that
Clay,
the
follow
gist?
Clay.
Follow me on Instagram
Hair
at Clayton
tutorials,
Hawkins for hair tutorials and all that great stuff.
Oh, and last thing, Phoenix. I'm coming to Phoenix for stand-up April 29th. Get tickets to standuplive.com.
Oh my God, watch Chad on TBS. I wrote for
Oh,
Chad.
I
think
just
it's
watched
out
the
this
trailer. It looked so good, babe.
week. Everybody watch it. I think the first episode's out this week. I don't know where to stream it, but Google
And
Chad.
Caroline, who was one of your coworkers at Chad?
Dave King, Esther's fiance, the man himself.
So
Famous from
Dairy Queen,
story.
Dave King. It's all starting to add up. Okay.
The Dairy King to your Dairy Queen. Okay.
Yeah.
And we stand Nassim Petrad. She's a gorgeous, hilarious queen.
All right.
Star
Turtles
Chat.
out.
All right, guys. Thanks
Bye,
for listening.
guys.
Bye.